What is up, good people of the internet? Welcome to episode 3 of Bite Size Guitar. Today I want to share with you how I approach sequences, especially for the use of speed building, and 2 ways that I approach them. I'd first like to say that I do not consider myself a fast player. I probably just play that at the equivalent of maybe 16th notes at 120 beats per minute. And in the guitar realm, that's pretty slow. That's like on the slow side of fast. But I'd like to share something that I learned a long time ago. It's better to play slower and clean than it is to play fast and sloppy. To a listener, if they hear something that's fast and sloppy, they're not really going to be impressed because it's kind of lost on them. Something that's slower and clear will sound much better to your listener, and they'll probably won't tune you out. So that's something I've kind of picked up and I've kind of kept with me. I'd rather play slower, but more accurately and clean than I would fast and sloppy. So let's look at this sequence that I just played. We're in B minor, and we have this 6-note sequence that we're looking at. We have from the A string we have 4th fret, then we have 5th fret, then we have 7th fret. Going up to the D string we have 4th fret, we have 7th fret on the A again, and then we finish it up with 5th fret on the A, then we're back at 4. So altogether it sounds like this. So we're going to have 2 different approaches to how we use this sequence for speed building. One is we're going to go ridiculously slow and focus on getting fast and accurate motions. The second way we're going to approach it is we're going to take those fast and accurate motions at a slow speed and try to implement them into a faster speed and not think about each one of the individual notes. So when we go really slow, we want to think about each one of the notes and getting a consistent motion for each one. And then when we go fast, we want to kind of compile all that information down and not think about each one of the notes and kind of chunk it all together. And we'll talk about how we do that. So let's look at this first technique first, where we go really slow but have fast motions. And what we're going to be looking at is something called transition time. So in between each one of the notes, there's like dead space that exists because of the motion of your fingers. And what we want to aim to do is get that transition time, that dead space, while your fingers are moving from one note to the other, as small as possible. If you have finger motions that look like this, that are flying off the fretboard, obviously that's going to increase your transition time. If you have a picking hand that looks like this, and it looks like you're strumming, obviously that's going to affect your transition time. So what we're focusing on here is getting the smallest and most accurate and concise motions, while also maintaining quick motions. So it's kind of a paradox. While we go slow, we're moving fast. And while you practice this way, there's really no need to rush. You don't want to try to focus on each one of the motions going like this, because after a certain speed, you can't really focus on each one of the notes anymore. Your brain is automatically chunking all those notes into like smaller components. So go really slow. Don't try to rush this when we're practicing with our transition time. Go really slow and focus on accurate motions and fast motions. So once you feel really comfortable with the motions that you're getting at a slow tempo, and they're really fast and they're really accurate, what we're going to try to do now is copy and paste that to our fast tempo. And when you do that at fast, don't think about each one of the 6 notes anymore. When I play this sequence fast, I'm really only thinking note, 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 note. I'm actually giving it an accent, and I'm just thinking about lining up my pick on that one note. So I'm only thinking about one note, and I'm letting the other 5 notes fall in the space between, so I don't have to think about as much. Because when you're trying to play at fast tempos, if you're trying to consider too much, if you're trying to use too much brain power, that really just slows you down. It kind of just bogs you down. Because think about it, when you're speaking, when you're having a conversation with someone, you're not sitting there thinking about the spelling of each word, or the grammar, or the pronunciation. You just have to let those things flow. You're thinking about larger things like sentences and meaning. So in the same way that we approach speaking in that way, we don't consider all the small components, we have to approach our fast playing that way, where we just try to line up bigger pieces. But when we're trying to actually hone in our speed, we have to really sit down and practice the transition time. getting really accurate motion. And this is an idea by Troy Stetina. I found it in his book Master of Mechanics. If you want to read more on it, I would encourage you guys to check out that book. It has some great material for lead playing, for sequences and speed building. It's just an excellent resource if you want to learn to play faster. But like I said, playing fast is not the absolute importance. There's this kind of thing in the guitar world where playing fast is up on a pedestal, and then all the other things kind of fall on the wayside, like playing clean, playing musically. So I would encourage you to make those things really things you focus on. Working on playing musically, playing clean, and let the speed kind of develop on its own. It'll come with time. And if you practice this way, practice with getting accurate and efficient motions, the speed will be there when you need it. Well, I hope this helped. If you have any comments or suggestions about how you build your speed, leave me a comment. I'd love to know about them. If you like what you saw, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to follow me and see some more, I'm on Instagram, 60 Second Guitar Lessons. All right, well, I'll see you next time. Take care. Be well.